Hello everyone, my name is Sonam Palmo. The title of my presentation is The Cultural Constructions of Marriage Among Nomadic People in Ladakh and Their Gender Inequality. The objective of this study is to understand rules, norms, and patterns that govern social relationships in the family systems of Changthang people, to find out the types of marriage and functions of family among the Changpa community, to examine the gender inequality and their living condition. For methodology, I have taken the cultural constructions of marriage among Changthang people in Ladakh. For my title, to analyze the gender inequality in their marriage system. Some specific terms used here are polyandry, Changpa, gender inequality, social effects, and marriage by stealing. For this purpose, I have utilized both qualitative and quantitative methods. I have based my term paper on both primary data and secondary data. The main sources of the primary data has been the questionnaire method, an interview taken by myself through the phone, conversation with few women, and secondary data was obtained from internal available sources like books, journals, documentary, and internet, etc. So before going into details, I would like to give a little information about Changthang. So Changthang is derived from two words. Chang means northern and Thang means plains. Changthang is at a high altitude plateau of Changthang region bordering Tibet, China in the east with huge highlands and mesa flats. The nomads that move with their livestock across this plateau are known as Changpa, or people of north. Changpa are the nomadic pastoral community who rear animals. They move from one place to another across the Changthang for their livestock. Changthang is the home for pastoral Changpa, I mean nomads. Changpas of Changthang region migrate from one place to another place with their herds of sheep, goats, yaks, and horses on grassland areas. Each was reliant on the availability of pastures and water. Changthang people they live in a tent which is known as rebos, and it's made from yak wool and spun into threads by the families. So here I have divided some subtopics which are gender inequality, evolution in marriage systems, strongly criticizing marriage by stealing. First is gender inequality. So gender inequality in terms of work. In every society there is a gender inequality and discrimination against women. While for Changthang people, both women and men perform outdoors and indoors activities such as for outdoor activities such as herding animals and doing construction work. However, it is only women who were made to perform indoor activities such as looking after child, cooking, and other such domestic work. Therefore, women suffer from heavy work loaded every single day. Not only women are incapable of taking decisions related to outdoor activities such as selling animals, products like wool, meat, milk, but their opinion are not welcome during discussions on the same. And the second is how society treated boys and girls differently. On being asked about how society treated boys and girls differently and not equally for those three women whom I interviewed, most of them say that girls were never treated the same as boys at their times. Only boys were allowed to go to schools and girls were kept at home to do household work. Even within the family, boys were treated better than girls. Uh, as a human being, everyone is equal in the eyes of law, so there shouldn't be any discrimination between male and female. And the third is discrimination in terms of property. Is that in terms of property, most in Changthang, most of the properties are handled by women, while handled by men. Women have no rights to own properties, whereas men can. From birth, male and females were raised differently in every society. Male also have a better role to play, and male have been treated as something superior to female. So nomadic women are the silent workers who are struggling to complete their household work from early morning till dusk. She is too involved in her daily duties in such a remote area where the news and other sources of information are rarely found. Due to lack of basic education, many women fail to fight against their unequal treatment. They enjoy less freedom in the disposals of animals than do men. So the second topic is evolution in the marriage systems. Marriage system is very important part of nomadic life and as an important social institution. The three main reasons to consider marriage as an essential part of life in Changthang region are: first, to look after their parents when they become old and its property. Second is to have children to continue their descent. Third is marriage regularize sex relations. Most importantly, early nomads exercised a system of polyandry. This system was banned by the government, but few families are still following it. So, polyandry is the one of the marriage systems where a woman was married to two or more brothers. Most women have two or more husbands who are siblings. Where the eldest brother marries later, it is joined by their younger brother and they share the same wife. Therefore, most women are elder than the husbands, and people don't mind having a wife who is older than them. However, with time, due to modern education, technology, and fast communication influence, they have undergone remarkable changes taking place in the marriage patterns among the nomadic people. They are facing social economic changes which are resulting in living their traditional lifestyle and traditional marriage systems, which is resulting in the decline of a practice of polyandry. Types of marriage they practiced were mostly arranged as a type as a symbol of respect to their parents and consider their concerns. Unlike the traditional marriage system, this day people prefer to engage more in love and other types of marriage due to first communication and information. The rejection from either of their parents are less chances, easy accessibility of education comparatively. Most of their children are now being sent to school instead of keeping them back home from animals herding. Therefore, the notion of economic independence, gender inequality affect the practice of polyandry. So the third topic is strongly criticizing marriage by stealing. This form of marriage is practiced by Ladakhi, unlike Tibetan. They are, if there is mutual consent between boys and girls, but it's rejected by any one of parents, then in that case the alternative is marriage by stealing. This form of marriage is popular among their regions, and mostly girls are stolen by boys. Marriage by stealing is later misused and threatened many women where they steal women without their consents from their parents and from herself too. This types of marriage also leaves a woman speechless and can't fight against it even if she wants to. But with time, due to modernization, practice of this kind of marriage system is declining. So these are the questions which I had asked for three women about how what their views on marriage by stealing. So these are the following answers by these three women. And for and To conclude the nomadic life of Changthang and its marriage systems, women facing unequal treatment and discrimination. Though nomadic women are strong, hardworking, yet they face inequality and discrimination in both in and outside the house. Although the gender inequality they face is different from the women in general, modernization brings a huge change in their life. However, Sanjay has argued that the age of modernization also leads to ignoring traditional lifestyle, which is considered very important. He also said that younger generation has a great influence on the cultural changes caused by modernization, which is unwelcomed by the people and do not appreciate much in the society. Nomadic people live a very simple life which doesn't lead to conflict but rather in harmony with others. Earlier in their society, people tend to help each other, but in the age of modernity, which promotes competition, comparison, and conflicts, which Sanjay argued the needs for further analysis on to preserve the precautions, unique culture, and marriage among Changthang is important. Nowadays, both the men and women are traditionally treated equally. This 21st century leads women all things delights and everything nice, uh, leading from the front and doing their best. So these are the works I did which I had given uh, about my presentations, and that's all for my presentation, and I hope you all like it. Thank you.